for movie chats. Movie chats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our latest episode of Movie Chats. I'm Ryan, and this is Ant as well. And today we're talking about the 2023 horror movie, Cobweb, directed by Samuel Bowden. This was his directorial debut, and
amazing.
Good.
This one, good effort. Yeah, and this one really flew under the radar, right? Before you mentioned it to me and said, let's review Cobweb, I never heard of this movie.
Yeah, I had only seen snippets of it because I don't watch The Boys, but I know of The Boys, and obviously I've seen snippets. There's a scene, a dinner scene that we'll get into where the dad is eating something and he's worked out that there's something in his dinner. Before I knew that this was a movie, I was like, "Oh, well, I'm watching this. It's Homelander. He'll be fine because that's not gonna hurt Homelander. Oh, it's a movie. Oh, okay." So this is about a story of a young boy named Peter, played by Woody Norman. Before I get too far into that, have you noticed lately when we're doing horror movies, when kids are involved, these kids just do knockout performances, don't they? Like you have kids in horror movies.
And kids are creepy.
Right? Anyway, I just wanted to say that. I just thought he did just a really good performance. Just like, good job, little man. He lives in a house with his mum and dad. They're a bit odd, and they live in this old, strange house. He's hearing these knocks in the middle of the night, and mum's just like, don't be silly. It's just an old house. Dad's really apathetic, stop having nightmares, rah, rah, rah. He's been bullied at school to the point where he's like got bruises on his face. He's got a new teacher who kind of starts to show a bit of an interest in him, Miss Divine. She's probably the first person to kind of really show him any sort of kind of real emotion because his parents are very closed off. And then things kind of start to escalate when he's hearing voices in the wall. What are the voices? It's this little girl. Mm-hmm. It's all very well set up, I thought.
Yeah, and it definitely is. And I just do a preface of it. We're going to spoil it in the review.
Oh,
so
yeah, 100%.
If you haven't,
sorry.
And this is a movie where it's worth watching not knowing what you're getting into because the way that you have a few twists and turns are actually very good. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want it to be spoiled, turn off the podcast, watch it and then come back to it. But if you don't care about spoilers or if you've seen the movie, stay with us because we're going to spoil it.
Yep. The mum and dad, they start off, well, mum not so much, dad definitely. He's never really seems they're not a very loving parents. They seem like
the dad speaks in foreshadowing, right? From the get-go, which when they are going to the shed getting the rat poison, for example, and the kids say, oh, it smells like cinnamon. And the dad says, not everything that smells sweet is sweet. It can kill you or something like that. Yeah. It's like, okay, it just weird. For the dad, it was maybe a little too much from the start. I think the mom, Lizzie Kaplan, I really like her performance because she's just the right amount of off just to make you uncomfortable enough.
Yeah. Obviously, this little boy, he's having a really hard time at school. He's getting bullied. Yeah. This voice in the wall, this little girl says you need to kind of fight back. So he does. He pushes his bully down the stairs. Kid breaks his leg and you're like, you know what? That kid kind of had it coming. So Peter then gets expelled, but the teacher still kind of wants to, bring his last math test over. And so the mum, there's a couple of scenes where Miss Divine brings stuff over to the parents' house. First it's a picture of help me, kind of this, and the mum's kind of like, why are you drawing pictures like this? That imagination's going to get you into trouble. And then it's just these creepy back and forths. Like it's almost like if you were really having that kind of conversation with a kid's parent, you'd be like, what is going on here? This mum's weird.
She clocks it. Like, to her credit, she clocks it. It's like she's off. Like there is something afoot. There is something going on. Even though for a teacher nowadays to come to a parent's house is a bit crossing a line. You wouldn't do that. You would have to go through the normal channels and the school and organizing a meeting. It would need to, everything would need to be above board.
100%. I had thought it's very much like Justine Gandy in Weapons, where Justine is like she cares so much, and she goes to the kid's house, and so it was a bit like Justine in Weapons. I found that was just my thought. Mr. Vine has gone over to the house, sorry, and that's when kind of Peter gets put into the basement, and he's like, what the hell? These parents do they hate this kid?
They're abusive. They're abusive parents, regardless. And I know that then there is a twist about the daughter. It doesn't excuse the fact that it's an abusive home, and that Peter 100%. Is an abused kid, and the way that he reacts is extreme. He goes nuclear. Right. I know that he's being influenced by this spirit or person in the walls, but I get it. If you are being bullied and nobody's really doing anything about it, not that he's actually trying to talk to an adult about it, he's just taking revenge on the bully. What does he do? It pushes him down the stairs. This is a nuclear reaction. And the same thing, he has suspicion that his parents have done some horrible things, and instead of running away or trying to get help from the police or an adult, what does he do? He poisons them. This is extreme reactions. He's got some issues as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously, so we'll go to that. There's a scene where they're all eating dinner. Peter's just playing with his food, and Dad's just scoffing it down. And this is delicious, darling. What did you do something different? It just tastes so slightly different. And she's eating it, and it smells sort of sweet, like cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
And he's like, yeah. And then as soon as she says that, the dad clocks it. He just like, Peter, what have you done?
I really liked it. I really liked how it was brought up.
Right.
When it dawns on you that, the food is poisoned by the rat poison that got introduced maybe 30 minutes ago. That's good. That's good writing. I like that.
Yeah. So this obviously eliminates Dad. Dad's gone after this. Mum lasts a little bit longer, but not before she says, don't let her out.
Yep.
And so you think, why? I think all this could have stemmed, like none of what happens after this could have been prevented if parents just don't lie to their kids. Just be honest. Just hey, Peter, just letting you know, we had a baby before you. It was pure evil, so we've locked it in the wall. If you hear any knocking, it's her. If you hear any voices, it's her.
The parents are not right in the head. I mean, this is your solution, is to lock your daughter behind the walls. That's weird.
Move house. You could have moved house. You could have locked it in the wall, moved house. But no, we're just gonna ignore the problem. It'll go away. It'll go. This sets up the third act where Peter's bullies come back to the house. It's Halloween, so they've come in Halloween costumes, and they want to take revenge because obviously Peter broke this kid's leg. They want revenge. I found this. I liked it, but I thought it was only added so we could have cannon fodder because we've got like 3 or 4 characters that we could just have brutal deaths, and you're not really going to care. Like, characters are just getting their heads decapitated, characters getting ripped apart.
Yeah, I agree. Again, this is, it's another overreaction. Because he pushed you down the stairs, then you're going to come with all your brothers and your cousins and terrorize them in their house. I mean, it really escalates quickly. I had some issue finding it believable, but it was okay in the way that it was done. It was just okay, but it made me tick a bit.
It's not a realistic approach to solving a problem. You wouldn't.
No.
Like, as like an 18, there's like some of these kids are like 18 or 19 and they're going to go, we're not going to go smash apart a house because someone broke your leg. You were his bully. He pushed back. You kind of deserved it, mate.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, yeah.
Then obviously the monster has been released. I didn't mind the fact that you didn't see the monster until kind of the very end. It was kind of a bit like Jaws in that regard where you don't see the monster. Yeah.
I really like that, actually. When you just see the hair, mostly, it makes it very creepy. I like that.
I think it would have been better if you actually didn't see the face because there's a scene where it kind of comes down and there's this like kind of creepy ass smile.
Look, I have a bit of a wild take on that. I don't think that it needed to be a monster. the movie didn't need that touch of supernatural. It was okay, and I think they did it because you can have a bit more of creepy imagery and the way that she's sort of walking like a spider. You can do a bit more things just for the visual aspect. But just imagine it was a regular looking little girl, but she was just a psychopath. Somehow, I think that would have been even creepier.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I liked it, but I didn't like it. It was good. Like, it was a really creepy monster, but I was kind of let down. Like, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like, it's all of everything else that happened in the film had such an aura of believability to it. Like, you've got this atmospheric house that's just old, and the house itself is almost like a character of the movie.
The production design is amazing in this movie. The house looks out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
Yeah.
It looks very creepy. And the backyard with all the pumpkins, very Halloween-y because this is set around Halloween time. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it just wasn't bad. It wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, I agree, because it brings a lot of question of, was she born like this? Was she born looking different on top of being evil, apparently? Or is it just that she was looking different? They were creeped out. Did she turn like this when she was locked behind the walls? Or why? Why does she look like that? Why was she like that? It was strange.
I didn't love the cliffhanger ending either, where they've locked the monster in the basement, and then she's just goes, every time you go to bed and you hear a bump in the night, will it be me? I wanted a more closed off ending.
Yeah, you know what? I like that because I think it plays on the theme of abuse in the way that now you have come from an abusive home and everything that happened, and now you're going into the territory of trauma. And your trauma is always going to be with you. And this is a bit like that. It sticks with you. I didn't mind that. I just thought that it was very abrupt because you have that sentence and then that's it. It cuts.
Yeah.
And you get the credits. I was like, oh, okay. It's over. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, I think that because it's a very short film, it's only, I think it was 85 minutes with credits or something like that. If they just added an extra 5 minutes to just know where either the monster's gone or Peter's safe, and just that for me. I just wanted more.
Yeah, no, I get it. Maybe let's talk about the more technical and visual aspect of the film. I think it looks amazing, especially something that stayed with me. Two things that really stayed with me with the cinematography was the way that the camera sometimes tilts and pans. I really like that. And the way when how they are playing with the big shadows, when they're opening a door and then there is just a big shadow on the threshold that is elongated.
Well, even like what I've got behind me where it's mum and dad, like Peter was kind of, that's him there, and mum and dad's shadows there. I love the way he played with shadows. There's a moment where I think mum's kind of got a knife. She's cutting up pumpkins and you can kind of just see just the knife in the shadow of the kitchen. I thought that was really good. Just the lighting, sometimes like with your background where you've got he's having the nightmare and it's just, it kind of flickers to black and then flickers.
It was very creepy. It's very creepy. Right. Very well done.
Production design. It was, really good down. And the sound design. Obviously, there's lots of sounds of the knocking. So, and the sound of the house as well, because it's a very old house. You've almost get the sound of the house. It was just all those technical aspects were really well done, I found.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have a question for you.
Okay, go.
It's something, for me, it was left to interpretation. So at some point, the voice in the wall is telling Peter that there is a skeleton in the backyard. Go and dig, you're going to find it. And this is how you're going to find out that our parents are not good people. So the skeleton, we assume that it's from a little girl down the road that got killed on the Halloween nights before, because that story is being told. Who do you think killed the girl? Do you think it's the sister or do you think it's the parents?
I thought they implied it was the parents.
I thought that, but then I had a thought of, imagine this is actually the sister who killed the little girl, and that was the trigger of like, right, we need to lock her up because she's dangerous and evil.
Yeah, that tracks. Definitely.
Open to interpretation, but I like that.
It
It stayed with me. I was like,
That makes more sense because I don't have a reasoning for these two seemingly ordinary parents to kill a girl who's come trick or treating.
Well, apparently the other version would be that the sister was already locked up and that little girl actually found her and she tried to help her escape. That's why they killed her. But I like my interpretation better.
I like your interpretation better, yeah. Both work. Both are creepy.
Yeah.
Look, they got what was coming to them regardless, so.
Oh, 100%. This is going to scores.
I am going to give this a 4 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed this one. I thought it was, just a really just technical aspect movie. Really well written, well directed, well cast. Lizzie Kaplan just gave such a phenomenal performance. She's super creepy on all the right places. I didn't love the ending. I thought that could have just been tweaked a bit better. But 4 out of 5 from me.
Nice. I give it a 4 out of 5 as well. I think this is a hidden gem. I think this movie needs to be talked about a lot more, especially in horror circles. Yeah, everything, the direction, the production design, the atmosphere, the acting, the way it's written, the way that they are bringing twists and turns that are surprising and still believable. We have some nitpicks as we brought during the review because I think sometimes it comes down to personal preferences and interpretation you want to make of it. But it's a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. So 4 out of 5.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Now, in the in the info section on our YouTube channel, we'll have a link of how to watch this movie. So if you want to go check that out, go for it. But as always, please tell us what you think of the film. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Any comments are always appreciated.
And see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.